Hi, everybody. We are live. I can see Jamie's already joined us. So, afternoon, Jamie. I know this is all a little bit weird today. Obviously, it's lunchtime, it's Tuesday. It's never mind the buy box. So, obviously, definitely not the time we usually do it. But like I said last week, I've got a lot of family commitments this week, and I didn't not want to do never mind the buy books. So I thought, well, let's have a little bit of an experiment and see if we can do it a different time, because people often do say to me, especially with training and things like this, that some people can't attend in the evening, due to putting the kids to bed, or people work nights, that type of thing. So it's good to, try, a few different things. I'm just going to jump on to the comments just to see who's with us. Hayden's joined us, and so has Simon. So can someone just let me know that you can see and hear me okay? Simon Hesse has joined us as well. Evening, guys. So not only have I freaked you out with a different time, I've also freaked you out with a different setting. I never get the opportunity because obviously the kids are around when we do Never Mind the Buy Box or ESA in the evening. So I can't do it from anywhere else other than my office upstairs. So I thought, I'll freak you out with a little bit of a different setting as well. So loads of you are jumping on. Brilliant. Emma's joined us. Michelle says hello. NFT Dolphin says hi. Love the new time. Can watch whilst in the office working away. Absolutely. Well, I think now with the opportunity that so many more people are working from home as well, I know quite a few people who we actually had a friend the other day who says they catch up on all their Netflix viewing whilst they're at work as well. Don't recommend doing that, guys, obviously, but people do find the opportunity to do extra things whilst they're working from home now, which is great. Donna says good afternoon. It was Hayden that said that. Simon said I was going to say good evening. I know it's like, yeah, it's freaking everyone out, but it's it's good to throw a curveball in every now and again, and you never know, might have a little special guest appearance from my Matt. He might pop in and say hi at some point as well. So new background. Well, this is my house, so this is the background of my house, and that's my like neon sign. It says you guys can't see it, but it says if you can dream it, you can do it. It's my favorite kind of motivational quote by the great Walt Disney himself, of course. There we go. It's sort of going into focus a little bit. You can see it. Obviously, any questions, as normal, let us know or let me know as we're going along. Oh, and by the way, just want to give a big shout out to Luke today. He was supposed to be joining me this afternoon, but unfortunately, he's quite poorly. He's not very well. So just want to send him some good get well soon vibes and hope he feels better. Because he's not well at all. So if you're watching, Luke, which I don't know if you are, because I know you're really poorly, sending our best wishes and wishing you well soon for sure. So today it's Black Friday week. I want to talk about this weekend, what's coming up, not only this weekend, but this kind of really busy period of time that we have all become accustomed to, especially if you're selling products or, Black Friday originally started out for a lot of people, sort of selling physical products, but there's, it's kind of merged. It's become synonymous with, getting good deals, whether that's physical products, digital products, software, all these different types of things. So Black Friday, is something that really became popular here probably 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I don't know. I lose 2 years with COVID, obviously. So it's, it's something that's all kind of imprinted into our minds, and it's fallen quite nicely this year. But, we've talked about this previously extensively over the last couple of weeks, where we've talked about, this really important period of time, especially with Amazon sellers, and how it does, really, it's the true starting point of Q4, depending on where the dates fall in the year. anything from about the 15th onwards, the week preceding Black Friday, that's when things really, really start kicking off. And I think most people started noticing that kind of uplift from about Sunday this week. So let me know in the comments. And what's really interesting, we also saw ourselves. But we also saw, the last couple of days, our sales have essentially doubled in the US, which we wasn't expecting, funnily enough, because our product's not really a seasonal product. It doesn't really come under the kind of gift field. We're not running any Black Friday promotions or anything like that whatsoever. So that's been really interesting to observe, especially as this is the first year in the American market, but obviously the American market is so big. So everything feels kind of good at the moment. All the expectation that we've all been waiting for does appear to be manifesting now. So it'll be good to hear your guys' thoughts on it, and let me know if it's something that you're starting to experience as well. Let's have a quick look, jumping on the comments. So Darren says hi. Donna says get well soon. Look, absolutely. Paulina's joined us. Brenda said lovely to see a lunchtime live. Well, do you know what's funny actually? Matt Webley said to me a couple of weeks ago, he said he was curious to test out some kind of lunchtime lives as well, just to see if it's something people would respond to. And like I said, this isn't being done, at all today for, testing purposes or anything like that. It's due to having the busiest week of our lives this week in terms of family commitments. We have 5 family birthdays. Monday to Friday this week. So we're out, with family and friends all week. So like I said, and I thought it was a good opportunity to see whether, every now and again, maybe people wouldn't mind a lunchtime live for sure. Ramel says, hi. Yeah, people really loving the lunchtime lives. Oh, that does sound like a good name. Chat with Nat, lunchtime live. You know me, I do like a good name for something. So Lee says uplift starting, holding the price on pricing. Some lines, though, as keeper data supports higher price in December. Absolutely, Lee. You're going to come on and talk about that in a moment. I'm going to break it down today. I was going to say tonight then. I was going to do what Simon said about saying good evening. Apologies if I say tonight. But I'm going to break it down between kind of buying and selling over the next sort of hour or so, just to give some, I suppose, tips, tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call them, in our experience of not only buying but selling over the last, sort of 10 years, all the time that we've been in e-commerce sales, about how you can really maximize your sales during this time. But not only that, it's great to increase sales, of course it is, but you want to make sure that you're maximizing profit as well. So I'm going to come on and talk about that a little bit later. So from a selling point of view, for sure. So Cindy's joined us. Arvo, absolutely. Donna says fab. So before we get started and start talking about how you can maximize profit during this period of time, just a couple of things that I noticed actually today that I wanted to pick up on from a topical point of view, really. My Sky News app went off earlier and I didn't really have a chance to fully look into it again. So it's a little bit of speculation at the moment. So apologies on that. But again, be good to hear your thoughts. I don't know if anyone else saw it. It popped up on my Sky News app and it says something about the government are, possibly thinking of or have introduced the possibility of people having to do lateral flow tests if they want to go out and do some Christmas shopping, which I'm not laughing at it. I mean, it's one of those things that you think, really, is that going to happen? Is that going to prevent us from going into a lockdown or something like that? So I was quite surprised to see that. Now, obviously, whenever I see things like that, I always really think about okay, how can that impact us, from a sales point of view, from a selling point of view? And actually, if it is something that the government do go ahead and do, then that will have a really positive effect, I would imagine, in my opinion, on online sales, because are people going to do that? I mean, I know lateral tests are relatively easy to do. They're relatively easy to, do, but it is extra faff. And we do know that this is a really busy time of year for a lot of people. You're out seeing family and friends, you're putting up your Christmas decorations. If there is a barrier for people to physically go out to the shops, which we know that people are really enjoying at the moment. The shops are busy at the moment. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's the reason why we've experienced definitely a quieter end of October and a quieter start to November, because people have got that level of freedom back again. But I think it's something that if the government do introduce this kind of barrier, we've all really discovered how convenient it is to shop online, and especially Amazon, over the last 18 odd months, 20 months, however long this has been going on for, that if people get the slight opportunity to be put off from heading out to the shops, are they going to not do it? Personally, because of what's happened over the last 18 months, I think that's likely. I think people, if they get slightly put off, they think, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get it online instead. That's the way I think it possibly will go if the government do introduce that. So it'd be good to hear your thoughts on that. And like I said, we've always said all throughout this pandemic that it's really a case of, we're not happy when these sort of things happen. But obviously, as sellers, as business people, as entrepreneurs, you always have to be ready. You always have to take advantage, essentially, of the opportunities that come your way. And definitely, I do think that if something that it does go into effect, that it would increase online sales more so than we would have expected, with people being out and enjoying the shops again. So Hayden said, yeah, 100%. Donna said, I noticed Westfield was heaving yesterday. Yeah, the shops are packed. It's the first time I've seen the shops packed, for quite a long period of time. Even last year when the shops opened back up again, they were still kind of ghost towns. But now people do seem to be getting back out and wanting to go into physical shops again. So if the government do go ahead and do this, I mean, if I was... you always get somebody on the news that's from like the retail association, body or something like that. If I was one of those people right now, I would be fuming, to be perfectly honest, because I'd be a bit like, great, we're getting people back out into the shops again. And now all of a sudden, it's going to be taken away from us because there's this kind of heavier barrier to entry that's coming. So it will be interesting to see. I've just seen Matthew Wright's comments. Wow, that went quick. 7 o'clock already. Absolutely. It's like being in a time machine today. Matthew says, wow, today. Oh, no, just seen that. Just been to the Traffic Centre, packed as well. That's the big shopping centre in Manchester, I think. Trafford being the obvious giveaway there. Who said this? Karen said, the biggest queues I experienced last week were at the PCR testing centres. Had to visit 3 times due to the kids being close contacts. Yeah, we've had that too, Karen. Our schools are starting to cancel events again. Same for us as well. We had it with Remembrance Sunday last week. It was supposed to be an in-person event and ended up being streamed live. They're already talking about the nativities being streamed live, which is such a shame because my little girl's 5 and we've not seen her in any type of nativity or anything. Missed out on that opportunity, unfortunately. Let's have a quick look. Hayden says, I'm preparing my business for a lockdown. You know me, I'm flip-flopping on it. I'm staying Switzerland, staying on the fence. Couple of people agreeing, saying they think it's going to happen, unfortunately, as well. Hayden says, could be worse, could be living in Austria and lockdown. Absolutely. Feel so sorry for the Christmas market business. They were already set up for that, and now they have to. Very sad, poor businesses. Absolutely. Shut. Do you know what? That's why I stumbled on it. I thought, Did you mean that? No, now they have to shut, poor businesses. Absolutely. And it's going to be something that we're going to start seeing over the next couple of weeks. And interestingly, from another topical point of view as well, is this weekend, as we know, is Black Friday. It also coincides with this kind of Arctic blast that we're experiencing. We don't get that sort of thing down in here, down in sunny Bournemouth, but, the rest of the country does. So again, if there's a relatively extreme, and I say extreme, weather event that occurs this weekend where people would ordinarily be going out to the shops, again, that's going to increase online traffic hugely, compared with everything else, because I do know a lot of people that do want to head back out to the shops. But like I said, everything that we've experienced over the last 18 months has really made us aware of how easy it is to shop online. If we didn't know that already, I'm talking about different generations and things like that. So I don't think people will hesitate. As soon as there's that kind of extra barrier in place, I don't think people are going to hesitate. So, if these things do go ahead, I mean, obviously the lateral flow thing, I think will be something that comes into effect in December. But if there's bad weather this weekend, I think this weekend is going to be huge for a lot of people. I think records are going to be broken this weekend. I think it's absolutely going to be a phenomenal weekend of sales for most of you guys that put yourselves in or have put yourselves in a good position to take advantage of it. Matthew says, I can see it in January. Too much riding on a successful Q4 for retail and hospitality. Absolutely. It's freezing up north, -1 last night. Well, do you know what? I must say, even down in Bournemouth, it did get a bit chilly. We've had frosts the last couple of mornings, so definitely some gloves and hats have been going on the last couple of days, for sure. I just looked up at the clock then on my computer at the timer, and I was surprised to see the time because, again, I was expecting to see 7 o'clock. This is weird, but wow, do you know what? There's so many more people on today's session than I thought there was going to be. So maybe lunchtime lives are the way to go. We'll wait and see for sure. Like I said, let me know about any comments, but that's just my a couple of observations on some topical events that I thought really over the next couple of weeks could really have an impact on our sales in a positive way. Because like I said, it's been a little bit quieter over the last month than I think people were expecting. I definitely was expecting it to be busier. I was expecting to see more of a gradual sort of increase into this week in particular. I didn't expect to see the big sales spike that we normally see. So that was really interesting. So, but big spike incoming for sure. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold. So if you hear me sniffing, apologies. Matthew says, I like the lunch live. Yeah, okay. Sounds like it could be quite a popular option, but we'll wait and see. So, who has said that? Cold in Cornwall too was 2 degrees when I got up this morning. And no, I'm not part of the 5 a.m. club. That was Brenda that says that. Do you know what? It's funny because people do say to me, I find it a lot easier to get up and work in the winter, which sounds crazy because you would think you'd want the light. But I feel there's an extra level of the reason why it works so well for me. It's because everything's so peaceful. It's so quiet in the morning. That's why I get up and like to do my thing at 5 o'clock in the morning. And even more so when it's still dark outside, nobody expects to wake up. I mean, a couple of days ago, my son must have heard me getting up. He's quite an early riser anyway as well. Now, I think it was about 5:30, and he attempted to come downstairs. I was like, nope. Go back to bed. I said, I don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for you to come down to listen to like YouTube, your YouTubers or what on the telly to disturb me. I was like, nope, go back to bed, get up in an hour. But yeah, I definitely find it easier in the winter when it's, I can come downstairs, I can put a couple of lights on, open the laptop and just get going for sure. So Cindy said, yeah, very up and down. Very inconsistent at the moment. You should start to see the consistency from this weekend. So, Friday's the obvious one. That's when people are really going to start pulling their credit card out and starting their ordering for sure. So like I said, I'm going to approach Black Friday tips today from two parts. I'm going to approach it from a buying part first of all, because we all talk about selling, crazy sales, this crazy spikes, all of this type of thing. But actually, it's a really good advantage to buy at this time of year as well. And, some of the tips that I want people to remember, and one of the biggest things, because when Black Friday does come along, all logic goes out of the window, especially when there's big deals coming in. You're sort of like, wow, I really don't want to make sure I miss out on this or miss out on that from a buying point of view, whether that's personal, whether it's for business. But what I don't want people to forget is the cashback. Now, we don't, we talk about cashback a lot. Obviously, it's something that, it should be well ingrained into your arbitrage buying minds, that, if you're not using cashback links, to make sure that you're to use them, because otherwise you are literally leaving money on the table. But please don't forget, especially this time of year, cashback sites work in affiliation with retailers. Retailers want people buying now. That's when they want. So this is the time where you're likely to see the highest incentivized percentages on cashback sites, and they've started already. So don't wait until Black Friday. So I was looking at like Top Cashback earlier, and I noticed like Holland & Barrett have got like 25%, which ends at midnight tonight. And you would think, oh, okay, well, I'll wait until Friday in order to get, the best percentages. But this has been going on for a little while now. People, they know it's like guaranteed traffic on Black Friday. So in order to kind of stagger it out a little bit, retailers, as much as they're not going to turn away orders, but maybe they're incentivizing people to come a little bit earlier so they can start to stagger them out. So their warehouses, their distribution, their pick and packers, so there's not much as pressure as there is over the weekend. So what you start to notice in a few days run up before Black Friday, that you really do get some incentivized, affiliate commissions during this time of the year. So make sure that you are, not just in your mind thinking, okay, I'm going to order everything this Friday, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Because something like 25%, I think it's a tiered offer. If you spend 30, I think you get 5%, 40, 10%, whatever. But it's over 60 quid and you get 25% commission, and it's Top Cashback. So that's pretty much guaranteed as well. Not like complete savings, whether it's hit and miss, whether or not you do get it or you don't get it. So 25%, that's a huge percentage, and you have to spend over 60 quid. For most of us, that's a drop in the ocean. If you're going to place an order with someone like Holland & Barrett, it's more than likely going to be over 60 quid. So make sure you keep an eye on that as well, because it could be a really good opportunity especially if you're buying replenishables from a site like that. Then it's a good opportunity to maximize that extra profit during this period of time. I wouldn't allow for it within BuyBot Pro. So I wouldn't allow for, guaranteed 25% margin, because cashback, as good as Top Cashback is, it's not guaranteed. You can't guarantee it is going to pay out. Top Cashback's as close as you can get to a guarantee. I would definitely always see it as a bonus, but you're definitely maximizing that profit during that period of time as well. And the cashback sites are great sites to also source retailers from as well. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, not the other day. I was thinking about it this morning. One of my first courses that I ever did for online arbitrage was sourcing off of the cashback sites, which was about 4 years ago now. And it really has got a good amount of hidden gem kind of retailers on there. So it's always worth making sure that when you are on those cashback sites, that you are going through the retailer directory and just seeing which ones, have good offers on. If it's a retailer that possibly you haven't sourced from before, make sure you check it out as well. And it's just a really good opportunity, like I said, to monitor these sites, because it's logic. Like I said earlier, when the sites do come in, when people incentivize people, retailers incentivize buyers to come onto their site, there's a good chance that they might have some good deals on their site as well, because they don't want to push a lot of, marketing and things like that for people to come on the site and it kind of falls flat. So you'll often find that with a combination of, really heavy percentages, money off, incentives, whatever, that you should be able to find some good deals from a buying perspective this time as well. Matthew says, light bulb moment. Thanks, Nat. I need to get our website on the cashback sites, free traffic, and only pay when there's a sale. Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. Paul says, good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, Paul. But with the cashback sites in, whilst doing that as well. So yeah, cashback sites, make sure you're using those links every single time. I know what it's like. It can get a little bit fast and furious when you're buying over the Black Friday weekend. So sometimes the things that we do regularly get kind of thrown out, and then there's nothing worse than going back on the site a little bit later on and thinking, wow, I've just spent £400 and there was 10% cash back on there as well. So, don't just use it from one point of view. There's lots of different ways that you can maximize extra profit, extra deals, extra resources that time of year as well. And usually, if you think about it from a logical point of view, like I said, the people are being incentivized to go to a site. So there's a good chance there's probably some good deals, when there's heavy, incentives to go to that site as well. Cindy says, top cashback Google extension is a great reminder. Absolutely. And, I hadn't written it down in my notes, but guys, make sure that you've got the honey and pouch extensions as well, whatever one you use. I was buying some Black Friday offers this morning, and I used honey. And even though the discount had already been applied to my cart automatically, I still ran it through honey, and it found me an extra 15% off on top of that as well. So just make sure that it's something that you still don't take it as granted, as guaranteed that that's still the best possible price that you're going to get. So because they don't, especially before Black Friday, they forget to remove codes, they forget to remove things as well. So, just make sure that you're, even though you might be rushing to get those orders in, that you're not doing what you ordinarily wouldn't do this time of year, because, it's maximizing that profit as much as possible for sure. Same goes for discount codes as well. Make sure that you're checking back on Facebook groups and things like that, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook like pages, having a look just to see if there's any unexpired discounts from last year that you can use for this year as well. Like I say, often discounts, people do forget to remove them on occasion. So it's always worth checking back and seeing whether or not there's any old discount codes you can use just to maximize your profit as much as possible during this period of time. Darren says Cooper extension, also great for discounts. I've not heard of that one, so thanks for mentioning that, Darren, for sure. Honey and Pouch are awesome. Had some great discounts from them, Lorraine said. Absolutely. I remember when we first started using, I think we started using Pouch first, then Honey, probably 4 years ago, something like that. And it was just crazy. I mean, they were very basic then. They're so much more advanced now. It's funny, Honey even sponsor one of my son's favorite YouTubers, which is a guy called Mr. Beast. I don't know if you guys have heard of him at all. He's an American YouTuber. He's like someone that gives away all his money, and like he's even I don't like most of the YouTuber Max watches, but even I like this guy. He's brilliant, and it's Honey that actually sponsor him in America. And I just thought that was really funny because when Max sees me using Honey, like when I'm online or something like that, he's like, oh, did you get that from Mr. Beast? I was like, I knew about it before Mr. Beast. And he thought that was pretty cool at that time for sure. Chris says, are you looking for people on Nevermind the Buy Box? Would be interested in coming on there in the new year? Absolutely, for sure. If anyone's ever interested in joining me on Nevermind the Buy Box, definitely, for sure, drop me a message. Always looking for, guests, people to come on, share their experience, share their Amazon journey, from different perspectives. Absolutely. People love hearing about, people's different successes on Amazon. So Chris, yeah, for sure. Cindy says, Honey sponsors my son on YouTube too. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Caitlin says, yeah, my son's favorite is Mr. Beast. I love Mr. Beast. He's so cool, for sure. I don't know if I'd have a chance of getting him on Nevermind the Buy Box though. Piggy, yeah, absolutely. My son watches Piggy as well. It's crazy when you just think about the world that we live in now, and all these different things. I was watching Super Ted at that age, but what they watch now, Max, it's fully ingrained into Max's mind. It's like he could win a Lambo at some point due to all the different YouTubers he watches. So yeah, cashback. That absolutely, do not forget it this weekend. If you're spending a lot, then absolutely you can earn a lot, and it's all maximizing that profit, adding to what is absolutely the best part of selling on Amazon is all those extra percentages from cashback, for sure. The extension. Oh, Piggy. I couldn't remember the Piggy one. I don't use that one. I thought you meant like Piggy, the video game. That's what I thought you meant. Peter Horton says, Nat is good when she's even able to give legendary Matthew Wright light bulb moments. Well, thank you. Very kind of you to say that, Peter. Well, actually, my next tip does come courtesy of Matthew Wright, funnily enough, because I do know that it's something he's previously talked about, for sure. And ever since he's, been more involved in the community, helping people get set up on eBay, building that extra multiple income stream. So another thing that I want to talk about today from a buying perspective as well. When I first started selling on Amazon, it was quite common around these sort of periods of time, Prime Day or Black Friday, to do Amazon to Amazon flip. So you would buy off of Amazon and then you would send it back into Amazon. Now that predominantly worked within the European market. So you would buy on the UK site and then you would flip it back into Germany or flip it back into France, one of the other European marketplaces. Now, obviously, we don't have that opportunity at the moment. Hopefully, EFN 2.0 will be joining, or coming soon, but I know they keep pushing back that date due to possibly more complicated logistics than they thought. So fingers crossed, come on Amazon. We're all waiting for that, obviously. So that's kind of died off for a lot of people. But one thing that you absolutely can do is and I know Matthew Wright's spoken about this, so I'll make sure I give him the full credit for this, is people forget about that you can do Amazon to eBay flips. So when you're seeing all these amazing deals, when you're seeing, echoes and things like that. Now, obviously, I don't know whether or not you can sell echoes, on eBay, because I know that there is still intellectual property, not as bad as Amazon, but obviously it, you do have to prove that the products are not counterfeit, obviously. But people do often forget, eBay is a massive, massive market, especially during this period of time. So when you're looking at some of these phenomenal deals, I've bought some Lego this week that potentially could be flipped into Amazon. You look at some of the deals that they've got at this period of time. So yes, we're all so focused on Amazon, but when you're buying from Amazon and buying from the other European countries as well, you can still buy from the other European countries, and you can flip them on to eBay. And you don't have to worry as much as you would from sending them back into Amazon. Now, Amazon have no issue with Amazon to Amazon flips. It's not something that, touch wood, that you would potentially lose your account over or something like that. But as we know, if you are going to do something like that, you just have to make sure that you don't use it for the purposes of Prime. You just use standard delivery. They don't like it when you buy it Prime and then try and sell it back in. But like I said, have a think about from the Amazon point of view, having a look to source products that you could potentially sell into different platforms, different marketplaces. And I'll come on and talk about something else in a moment as well that we've been doing lately, which I think will be a little bit of surprise for people as well from a selling point of view. So if you are keen and keeping an eye on some of those big lightning deals this weekend, so it's not necessarily just Amazon owned products, but you have a lot of sellers this time of year, private label sellers who sell their own products, sporting goods equipment, electrical equipment. You can potentially, look to make some good profit on buying those items and flipping them back into another marketplace as well. So when you're looking at the deals this weekend, make sure you check out eBay. Have a look and see if there's any opportunity to make some extra profit there for sure. Let's have a quick look. Just see if there's any comments relating to that. Hayden says, seem to have lost my comments. Almost have enough Amex points for a free flight. Only just got the card. Defo worth looking into if you don't have one along with the cashback. Absolutely. Maximize those incentives as much as possible. So make sure that you definitely do stack as many different discounts, incentives, cashbacks, whatever, in order to maximize that profit and, give yourself the best possible chance of, maximizing profit. Absolutely. Lee says, done a couple of UK Amazon flips with personal account into the prep center. It makes me nervous. Yeah, absolutely. I get that. It's definitely something, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing in the Amazon terms of service that relate to it. And even the Prime thing, I don't think Amazon have ever officially said that. But like I said, have a think about selling it through the different marketplaces, because Amazon for sure, the opportunity of Amazon to Amazon flips definitely is something that deteriorated a lot when we lost the ability to easily sell within those European markets. So hopefully it will come back in the future, and hopefully it'll be something we'll start talking about a little bit more. But, make sure if you've got Keeper as well, they show a lot of the price drops in the desktop version of Keeper. So if you log into your Keeper account, I can't remember exactly what it's under what tab, it shows you all of, the biggest price drops. Keep an eye on places like Hot UK Deals, because they pick up on those big lightning deals or Black Friday offers really, really quickly. And like I said, there's a lot of really smart people making a lot of good money doing it. Matthew Wright is one of them for sure, where, picking up deals and not just being so Amazon centric all the time, and thinking about some of those different types of opportunities. You've just got to make sure you're doing that as much as possible for sure. Lee says, I'm doing eBay to Amazon flips on discontinued Lego. Very profitable, providing they don't return. Absolutely, for sure. But yeah, opportunity just to think outside the box, definitely. Matthew says, eBay has a completely different customer base, many whom do not shop on Amazon. So this is why it works so well. So definitely hearing from the master himself. It's something that works really, really well. So make sure you keep an eye. And even if you just test the water this year, then you'll know for next year. If you don't do something, how do you know whether it works or not? So I'm all about testing and trying new things, and, as many possible ways to maximize that profit as possible. Peter says, I use Amex Nectar card for 1% cashback and Nectar points. They can be turned into pure cash via eBay vouchers, and you can refer others. So you both get a £50 referral bonus. Absolutely. So yeah, making sure thanks for that tip, Peter, making sure that, I feel like I'm saying maximize profit as much as possible, but there's no other phrase. It is maximizing, squeezing every last drop of profit, because we all know price tanking occurs and things like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting as much of it as possible that you can out of the purchases that you make. Peter says cashback is guaranteed profit. Absolutely, when it's paid out, for sure. And just going back to the cashback point from earlier, which I did meant to say, actually, make sure you do shop around those cashback sites for the ones that are going to give you the best percentage. Don't load them all onto one. We know that Complete Savings, especially if you use them, they can be a little bit funny about certain things. So definitely, for sure, this time of year, and especially with terms and conditions, though, I would say I would be putting most of my purchases through Top Cashback, because we know that they are the one that guarantees payout the most. Whereas you don't want to find that you were getting 10% with Complete Savings, but cashback, Top Cashback were offering 8%, and you went with Complete Savings, but they didn't pay out due to some clause or whatever. I would rather go for the 8%, because I know it's definitely going to be more guaranteed with Top Cashback. That's the way I see it, for sure. Darren says Utility Warehouse have a cashback card, cashback that goes against your utilities. Absolutely. Oh, the other one, of course, Airtime Rewards. Make sure you guys, if you haven't signed up to that one as well, because these can all be stacked. They can all be put against each other. With Top Cashback, you can use that and Airtime Rewards. Utility Warehouse as well, something like, I'd imagine you can use that as well. So just make sure you are maximizing profit as much as possible. Yeah, Top Cashback, Donna, definitely my favorite. I did go through a bit of a love affair with Complete Savings, but when it came down to it, they were a lot less hassle. You didn't have to submit invoices and do this and do that. They're just solid. They've just been around forever, and they're just a really good company. That's the way I see it, for sure. Anyway, from a buying perspective as well, I also think that looking for opportunities for bundles this time of year is a really good way. When we create bundles, when we set up bundles, we normally do it on the basis of one kind of key item within the bundle that sells really well. So this time of year, even if you don't necessarily purchase this time of year, but you can get a really good feel for the type of products and popular products that are selling at this time of year, and how you can potentially maximize that opportunity, maybe going into next year, or picking up products to go in your bundles that are discounted at this time of year. So make sure that you're always thinking about things where you can maximize your profit, and you can take advantage of opportunity as much as possible. And this time of year, I'm always keeping an eye on lots of the different sites, seeing what's trending, seeing what's popular. Could it potentially give me an idea for a new bundle to create or something like that? I think it was Simona actually who said on one of my personal posts that I put on my Facebook, because we went to a gaming arcade this weekend for my son's birthday. And especially when you do bundling, when you do it regularly, you see opportunity everywhere, and it's a little bit like that this weekend. So even if we don't sell normal arbitrage anymore, but it doesn't mean that I'm not aware of what's going on. I'm not involving myself in what's selling, what people are talking about, what's trending, all of these different types of things, because there's always inspiration that can be drawn from anywhere. And especially if you're selling physical products, there is no better physical selling product event in this country, and especially the US, than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it's really important to kind of keep your finger on the pulse, observe trends, see what's popular. Can you leverage that somehow in, a possible opportunity that you can create later down the road? So just for all of you bundlers out there, all of the ESA crew, make sure that you are keeping an eye on things this weekend, because it's definitely a good idea to inspire that, that creativity for creating your own opportunities, for sure. Paul says, isn't that only spending in Sainsbury's, or have they added more stores now? yeah, that'd be interesting to hear. I don't know a lot about that one, to be perfectly honest. So it'd be good to get some feedback on that, whether or not it's something that's specific just to one store. It's a bit like when Airtime Rewards came out. It was quite limited for the type of stores that became available, but now they've just they've got supermarkets on there. They've absolutely increased their database as much as possible. So it's something. It's something that they're probably adding to all the time. Peter says, not sure if it's been discussed, but eBay offered 20% off of your entire store for Black Friday and excuse me, and pay a 10% discount. No, not something I've discussed. So maybe if Matthew's still watching, he can jump in on that one. So I take it that's an eBay incentivized discount. So if you're selling on eBay, they will offer 20%, but you actually only pay 10%. Or so you only pay half and then they pay the other half. Yeah, so if Matthew's still around, maybe you can confirm that for us. So again, could be a great opportunity to really monetize those Amazon to eBay flips for sure, or to get some stuff up on eBay that maybe is not selling on Amazon or something like that. So always looking for opportunity and advantage for sure. Ahmed's joined us. Good afternoon, Ahmed. Hope you're well. And then finally, from a buying perspective, from a buying point of view, one of the things, and I've seen Karen in the group this week, kind of pepping people up. If you are a member of Online Arbitrage Deals, this is where it absolutely comes into its own in terms of the extra bonus deals that come through this weekend. So make sure you keep an eye out if you're an Online Arbitrage Deals customer, because I seem to remember there was like an extra 80 deals, extra bonus deals that came through from the Black Friday weekend. So it's definitely something, again, please don't wait until Monday for those deals to come in, because I think the deals come in, the extra bonus sheet comes in as and when Black Friday it occurs. So make sure, again, taking advantage of that, reacting to it in real time, because a lot of the deals that come through, if they're from popular sites and things like that, they are going to get snapped up quickly. So just keeping that finger on the pulse this time of year is really, really important. Making yourself aware of everything that's going on and really taking advantage of those extra Black Friday deals if you are an OAD customer for sure. So yeah, make any further details. I'm sure Karen and the team will be happy to answer any questions relating to that. Matthew says, yes, we use this eBay offer match discount. So they give 10% eBay, 10% customer gets 20%. You have to be invited to participate. Okay. Is there any particular, qualification to be invited? Do you have to have a store, Matthew? Do you have to be like a power seller? Not power seller, you know what I mean? Like a high level seller or whatever. Just let us know, because it might be something that people might be entitled to, but might not know that they've been invited or something like that. So it's always worth having a look. Hayden says, defo a sales spike happening today from what I can see. It should go from, I know I talk about this a lot where I say it's not going to go from 0 to 100 over the Q4 period, but definitely you should see this week. And of course, I know there's a lot of variables in place depending on people's level of stock, what they have available, how close to the buy box they are, all of these different elements. But most of you should see a difference in terms of sales from last week to this week, and you should have started seeing it already, and then we should start to get that really big spike at the end of the week. That's when things should start to go a little bit crazy, and when you're thankful for being an FBA seller. Lee said, last year I found ad blockers disabled some virtual queuing systems. Okay, that's interesting. So definitely worth, great tip there, Lee. So if you are someone that's queuing up to get into certain type of sites to get some discounts, An ad blocker might get you to the head of the queue. Great tip. Never heard that before, Lee. So thank you for sharing that. Peter says you have to have a business account, not personal account. Not sure what else. 30% increase at the moment in sales. Fantastic, Hayden. Great to hear. Matthew says, not sure on exact requirements. We have an anchor shop and our power seller. Oh, power seller is the right word then. And usually get invited each time for sure. Sorry, someone just sent me a message there. Just clicking off of that. Okay, so those are my tips from a buying point of view, and lots of great tips from you guys as well. So thank you so much for contributing there. Now, from a selling point of view, what I've often talked about is this kind of zombie-like mode that people, buyers, customers, people that are purchasing products go into at this time of year. And I do it myself. And I believe a lot in, I understand a lot about buyer psychology, and especially during this time of year where people associate Black Friday so much with getting a bargain, whether or not that's true. Again, I've often talked about, if you look historically over discounts, probably over a full year, Black Friday still may not be the cheapest time for people to buy goods, but you think of Black Friday, you think of people fighting over tellies in aisles. You think of people going crazy. You think of people getting the best possible deal as possible. So it's kind of ingrained into our subconscious that we buy during this period of time. And that's why we experience such, a big spike in sales. But what tends to happen is people maybe been saving up. They spend a big chunk of their money during this period of time, because let's face it, it's still only it's only a month until Christmas. When is it? A month today? On Friday. Oh yeah, it'll be exactly a month until Christmas. So it's, people tend to fall on paydays. It just works psychologically it works as well. So people almost go into this Oh, Matthew says back to work. Have a great Friday. Thanks for joining us, Matthew. Really appreciate it. But people go into this kind of zombie-like shopping mode where they're like, buy, add to basket, add to basket, add to basket, buy. And what can happen during that period of time, especially as an Amazon seller, where we sell such a broad and wide range of products, is your product could automatically get included in their basket. And because psychologically they think that they're getting a great deal, it automatically just gets included, and they press add to basket. So and I can't remember who said it at the start of I was going to say tonight, this afternoon's live, was this is actually a really good period of time to actually increase your prices. And I know a lot of you might think, oh my God, you're crazy. What are you talking about? But we are talking that traffic increases massively to online sources during this period of time. And like I said, once you combine that with that zombie-like buying mentality, what can happen is people automatically, they might have been sucked in by a £19 Alexa or something like that. But whilst they're on the site, they'll think, do you know what? I'm just going to pick up that Fisher Price item that I wanted to buy. Actually, I'm going to get some Christmas chocks while I'm here. Whilst I'm buying, I might as well get that while I'm doing it. And what can happen is people end up, spending more. It's a bit like, putting chocolate next to the tills in a supermarket. It's all about the upsell. And if they've been bought in on the basis of a great incentivized deal, they can end up adding other stuff and automatically associate with, well, because I bought that at £19 and it's half the price that it normally is, well, surely if I add that, I'm not going to shop around because it's got to be the best price. And to us, that sounds crazy, because you have to be a certain level of a bargain hunter to be successful in arbitrage. But believe me when I say we are in the minority of people who think like that. The majority still believe that Amazon is the cheapest platform out there. I've talked about this for years. Amazon's horribly expensive. We all know that because we're all, selling inflated price products on Amazon. But the average person out there still believes that Amazon is the cheapest platform, period. It's as simple as that. And if they're not there for price, they're there for the other buying reason why people buy on Amazon, and that's convenience. So even if you have got that savvy kind of shopper that is looking for that bargain or something like that, I know logically I will think like this, although I'm predominantly a price-driven buyer. I do often let the other side take over, which is the convenience side of things. Even if I know that product's just that little bit more expensive, well, guess what? It's already included in my Prime membership. And I don't mind paying a couple of pounds more because I know it's going to be delivered on the same day when I'm in. And it means it's another thing that I can tick off my list that I don't have to worry about later. And you know what? If I order that product from that retailer, I'm going to have to pay $5.99 delivery. So it's all this kind of buying psychology that kicks in really, really, more so than any other time of year. So it's a really good time to take advantage of that. So guys, don't lower your prices, increase them. That's my best advice with regards to, pricing. Have a look at Profit Protector Pro. See where you are in terms of pecking order on, getting that buy box or something like that. If you're close to it, don't worry about, kind of lowering your price during that period of time, because there's a good chance people in front of you, due to the increased traffic coming to the site, will sell out, and then you can reap the rewards for extra profit as well. And that's something people don't really kind of take into account this time of year. So this is a really good time to maximize extra profit through pricing, increasing those prices. The other point of view as well, because I believe Black Friday is going to be so big, and I think a good chunk of Christmas money is going to be spent this weekend, let people sell out. Let them sell out at the lower prices. Believe it or not, people still do buy after Black Friday weekend. So if you are, £5 more expensive than the people in the buy box, because of all the people that are going to be shopping this weekend, and Keeper, BuyBot Pro, whatever, ordinarily says to you, do you know what? You might not have a chance of getting back into the buy box for a couple of weeks. Well, if they sell out sooner because they've got cheaper pricing and more attractive pricing, you don't need to follow them down, because you can wait your turn and it might come that little bit earlier for you. So make sure you keep a keen eye on your pricing. Profit Protector Pro, we all know, does its witchcraft and wizardry, and, it tends to sell a lot higher, than in the buy box position as well. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on that this weekend. If you adjusted your prices maybe a couple of weeks ago when things were a little bit slower and you were happy to take a little bit of a lower profit, check it out this weekend, because you'll be surprised how much, like I said, that buying psychology kicks in, and how much people are prepared, to do the majority of their shopping this weekend. And like I said, even if you don't end up selling out, making sure that during this period of time that you queue yourself up ready to take advantage of that price increase in December, which we usually see. A lot of people, again, this is a little bit of a misconception. A lot of people ordinarily have bigger months turnover in November than they do December. I don't think that will be the case this year, I must say, because of the way the dates fall. But people's margins increase hugely during December, because a lot of the idiots sell out. They can't get their stock back in quick enough. And it's all the people that have sat there waiting for the profit comes in. This is the period of time when that materializes. So, don't follow them down. You don't need to. Take advantage of, that zombie kind of buying mentality as much as possible. And, that kind of, it's really heightened this weekend. But again, it comes into place during December for different reasons as well. Panic buying is something not going to arrive. This year, deliveries are taking so much longer as well. So again, people trust in the Amazon brand. So this year, because it served them so well during the pandemic. So people are going to be like, oh, okay, do you know what? I'm not going to risk ordering it from such and such, because their delivery lead time could be 10 days, whereas I know my Prime delivery, it might not be next day as we go into December, because I think already we've started seeing extensions to the Prime Day, you know, sort of 2-3 days, something like that, you know, due to the shipping, you know, logistics and UPS issues and things like that. So again, that buying kind of psychology really does come into place in December from a positive point of view for Amazon sellers as well. So definitely just take advantage of that as much as possible. Peter says the average person is dumb about everything. Absolutely. Oh, sorry, the Alexa's going off. Something I don't normally experience when I'm upstairs in my office. So one of my, actually, Peter, relating to that, one of my favorite quotes, and I think it says it perfectly, is from the Men in Black film, when Tommy Lee Jones talks about, this is so random, I know, when Tommy Lee Jones is explaining to Will Smith's character, where Will Smith says, well, surely we should just tell people about this, about the aliens or whatever. And he turns around and he says, well, a person is intelligent, but people are stupid. And, you know, it does fall within that. We get sucked up into this kind of herd mentality of, you know, being marketed to for so long about, you know, buy, Black Friday, discounts, best time, you know, best time to buy stuff. You know, that's what, you know, you go into a pub, you talk to your friends. Have you got ready for Christmas? No, I'm waiting for Black Friday. And then it sets in your mind, oh, of course, Black Friday. Yes, that's when I'm going to get the best possible price for everything that I'm going to buy. But actually, it's a manufactured retailer event, which is set to serve the retailers. There's no doubt about it. It's not set to serve the customers at the end of the day. So have a think about that from your pricing point of view, for sure, because it can really, really help maximize profit during that period of time. Also, for you brave merchant fulfillers out there as well, Black Friday is a really great time to get the jump on people that are maybe sending stock in this week that hasn't already arrived, or stock that arrives between now and Black Friday. Now, what I will say is I'm going to say this, don't start merchant fulfilling this weekend if it's not something that you've done before. But if you are already someone that has incorporated merchant fulfilling into your business, then Black Friday can be a great opportunity to, you know, get the stock in and get the stock out really quickly without having to send it to Amazon, without having to worry about Amazon losing products and things like that. So if you are set up for merchant fulfilled this weekend, you can really take advantage of the extra traffic that's going to be coming to the site this weekend. And I actually suspect Amazon is going to get hammered this weekend. So I would not be surprised if some circumstances, not all, that you didn't start seeing a little bit of favoring of the buy box to merchant fulfilled sellers this weekend, just to take that bit of added pressure off of Amazon fulfillment, because we know that they're absolutely going to get hammered this weekend. They would have employed extra staff. They would have done as much time as possible. But remember, you know, that algo change during the, you know, Q4 a couple of years ago, during the pandemic, when we saw, you know, buy box, merchant fulfilled buy box taking advantage of that. So if you are set up to do it, you have stock arriving this week and you're happy to do it. And like I said, you're set up, you've got everything in place, because you don't want to be, you know, kind of affecting the order defect rate. So if you are set up to do it, then make sure for sure that you take advantage of that as much as possible, because you could literally have stock arriving and then you can send it back out again. I think I seem to have frozen. Can everyone see and hear me okay? Don't know if you can. Someone just let me know in the comments. Peter says, most people can be profitable. Yes, you can. I don't know. For some reason, I seem to be pulling a really weird face. Brenda says, yes. Yeah, all good. All good. Hopefully you're enjoying this anyway as well. Michelle said, Cindy said, oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. It just seems to have frozen my end. Okay, that's good. I shall continue. Jed's joined us. Hi, Jed. Hope you're well. Good to hear. So, yeah, if you're set up to do it, it's a good opportunity to maximize profit this time of year by not holding stock, by flipping it, by turning it over quicker. I know a lot of sellers that do it this time of year in particular, and you don't have to do it continued past this weekend, but it can get a little bit crazy with merchant fulfilled. So like I said, please make sure that you're prepared for it if you go ahead and do it. The other thing is as well, we talk about Black Friday, but of course there's Cyber Monday. Now, Cyber Monday historically, depending on what you sell, is not normally as busy as Black Friday. But Monday in particular is a very popular day for people to shop e-commerce, without it being an extra incentivized retail event anyway. But Cyber Monday is definitely one not to forget about. Again, going back to that kind of pricing thing, because we're all like, I want to sell as much possible on Black Friday. Well, actually, there's probably 90% of the traffic that would come on Black Friday will come on Cyber Monday as well. And people do different offers. So, you have some retailers that will do a specific offer, Disney to think about, like Disney Store. They always used to do a different offer on Black Friday, and they do a different offer on Cyber Monday. And people are very much aware of that. So they might have bought on Black Friday, but they might come back to see if there's any different type of offers on Cyber Monday as well. But again, everything I talked about from a pricing point of view, take that into account as well. People like to get stuff done on a Monday. So yes, we want to buy and sell as much as possible on Black Friday as well, but don't underestimate the power of the start of the week. And that's why it's such a popular day in selling physical products across the board. When we had our distribution company, Monday was always our busiest day. It's because, again, it's that buyer psychology. It's like, right, start of the week, I've got to get stuff done. I've got to buy Uncle Bob's birthday present. So I'm going to order it right now. It's first on my list and I'm going to make sure it's done. And that kicks in with the added, effect of the extra traffic that you're going to experience, during this retail event over the weekend as well. So again, let everyone sell out on Black Friday and clear up on Cyber Monday. So don't be tempted to put those prices down, guys. Of course, I'm not talking about price fixing or anything like that whatsoever, but just think about logically, think about it from that point of view, how much you can maximize your profits as much as possible. And then the final thing that I want to talk about today is we talked about Amazon to eBay flips, but one thing, this isn't going to be for everyone. But again, from a flipping point of view, so this could have gone under the buying bit, but it also goes under the selling bit as well. Is since we stopped doing arbitrage, we've always had a lot of stock that we wanted to liquidate. Returns, things like that, that most people get selling arbitrage over the years. And we deliberately waited for Q4 in order to do it. We've got our own warehouse, so obviously it's something that we don't have to worry about, boxes piling up in the lounge, kind of Del Boy Trosser style or anything like that. So, I've often said to Matt, we want to maximize the profit as much as possible. So this is when, when we really want to be selling those returns on, eBay, marketplaces, things like that. And I know I've joked a little bit about some marketplace experiences that I've had recently. But one thing I've been really surprised about is how much people are prepared to pay on marketplace. And I know we all joke about kind of like tire kickers and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I've had my full share of people have, if I've got something listed for £10 and they'll send me a message saying, will you take £8? And no, I don't. I mean, I hold out from pricing across the board. But, it's been something that we've been doing for a couple of weeks now. And I'm really surprised if you combine it with the right time of the year, what people are prepared to pay to get access to something instantly, how far people are prepared to come for what they perceive to be a bargain. And of course, I'm also talking about the fact that you're not paying out any fees. You're not paying out any percentages. It's completely free to sell these goods on marketplaces. And the ones I'm talking about, Gumtree, but Facebook Marketplace has been so unexpectedly busy. So when you're thinking about buying and selling this time of year as well, maybe consider, if you are prepared to do it. Yes, you get a few idiots, and you get people trying to scam you and do this. But what I've done is I've been very strict. I've not sold at, discounted rates or anything like that whatsoever. I've stuck out, my pricing. I copy and pasted. I wrote a load of templates, copy and pasted it out. I'm prepared to post stuff because we're posting stuff all the time anyway. So if you put everything in place to be able to do that, it's actually been a really unexpected extra income source that we weren't expecting, and for a lot of goods that we were prepared almost to give away as well. So what it got me thinking about, and I've been really, really surprised what people have been prepared to pay. There's a couple of products, more than a couple of products that we've been selling, that we have been selling the same price as what a retailer is selling those particular products. But because someone can come and pick it up instantly, or we can post it out like tomorrow, people are more than prepared to pay it. And marketplace is something that, I can see developing even more so over the coming years. We didn't do it this time, so we've just been accepting cash and bank transfer. And again, we only accept bank transfer. We don't accept PayPal. Too many scammers out there for that can reverse payments. They're setting up quite a lot of payment options, which is going to make it even more friendly in the future. So I think it's definitely something that, whilst I'm not saying quit your Amazon and your eBay businesses, but if it's something that, even if you are prepared to get on board from a shipping point of view, if you don't want to meet people in person, I mean, not everybody does, obviously, but we've got quite a bit of stock to shift. So, I'm either at home or either at the warehouse or whatever, so it's not really an issue for us. So it's something to think about. So it got me thinking, okay, well, having a look, and you've got your Amazon to eBay flips. Well, there's actually a lot of the time, most of the time we're selling stuff I would say probably 50% of the time we sell stuff to get the original money back, and taking into account, all the extras that we have to take into account. But 20 to 25% of the times we're actually making profit because we're not paying out any fees. So we're not paying 15%. And, there's been a few times where we've sold stuff and we're like, wow, I wonder if we can get any more and we can sell these, because they'll tell you all these statistics. And, some of our listings have been getting like 1,000 views, which, when you think about it from that point of view, there has to be some added opportunity there as well. So whilst I'm not saying, ditch everything else and concentrate on that, it could just be something, if you are prepared to do and you find the right type of deals, because there's no fees involved, because it's relatively easy. The templates are easy. They're sent out to a lot of people. You can post them in different buying groups. You can isolate your products to who you want to see, who you don't want to see. It's definitely something I think that it's worth keeping an eye on. And if it's something that you pick up, some good flips on, I think that it's something that I think people could pour some extra profit on, from this time of year, for sure. I'm not saying it's going to be great the rest of the time of year, but coming back to that buying psychology and thinking about, I hate to be sexist, but, people like men who, tend to leave their Christmas buy until last minute, if they can see things like that. And, maybe they'll be prepared to come and pick it up, and maybe they're prepared to pay an extra, for it. It doesn't mean that you have to go, it means that they don't have to go and park their cars. And, I'm probably going to get some stick about my sexist comment there, so apologies. But they don't have to go and park their cars. They don't have to go into town, but they know if they order it online, it's not going to arrive at time. It's not going to arrive or whatever. Peter said, what kind of items sell well on Facebook Marketplace? Well, we've predominantly been selling toys and beauty items. Beauty items have been going crazy. Bundles have been going crazy as well, like health and personal care, things that you just really wouldn't expect people would be prepared to come and get. But if they feel like they're getting a bargain, absolutely, it's definitely surprised us with what people are prepared to pay. And you can make your pricing look pretty attractive because you're not paying, 30% or 33% to, by the time you pay your FBA fees, by the time you pay your referral fees. Same for eBay as well. They all work out around that kind of 30% odd. Once you take that away, it can be quite profitable. So, and I think over the coming years, definitely next year, we're going to see more and more people incorporating these type of marketplaces into their income streams, into their selling platforms. So, if you want to have a test and you want to do some testing, this is definitely a good time to do it for sure, because they're integrating payment systems, they're integrating, shops should be coming. It's definitely something that's going to progress. And like I said, I'm going to think about this moment in, 2 or 3 years time when all of you guys are selling on the marketplaces as well, and think, do you remember when I said, to have a look at these things, because it's something that's going to be a part of where we're selling in the future. I can honestly see that happening for sure. So definitely worth, taking a look at. Cindy says it's nearly £5 to park in town centre. Absolutely, for sure. That's an interesting comment. Daniel says if the seller is female, they have better odds of selling on Facebook Marketplace than men. Tested it over a year. I can see that. From a safety point of view, I think it comes down to a lot of things like, people getting catfished or whatever the term is, on, like Gumtree. And I think, wasn't there, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there was a really famous incident in like America. It was Craigslist, which is obviously the equivalent of Gumtree, where people like advertise stuff and they end up like turning up at like a murderer's house or something like that. So I think it's probably to do with that from that point of view. But yeah, I mean, I sell the products as well. Matt doesn't. So, but I can see from a safety point of view, if you think you're dealing with a woman, that you definitely feel more secure. But what I always do as well is I make it clear, if I know that I'm not going to be in when, someone's picking something up, especially if it's a woman, so it definitely does work, I'll always say, just to let you know, I'm not going to be here at the time that we agreed, but my husband is, because I just think it's courtesy. Because what could happen if they open the door, they see a man, they might get freaked out or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely from a trust point of view for sure. Prefer to buy from females as they're mainly female. Yeah, that psychology comes into place. There's no doubt about it. Lee said, I noticed that you can buy through the Facebook app. Any concerns with that, like with PayPal? Now, that's what I was talking about. Now, we were going to set it up. Matt definitely went through the process of setting it up, but we decided not to use it because we were having no issues with people sending us money via bank transfer. People always try to pay PayPal, and I say no, sorry, been burned too many times, which is true. We're bank transfer only, and I think there's only been one, possibly two occasions where people have said, sorry, I don't feel comfortable paying by bank transfer, and then 2 days later the woman came back to me and said, actually, I will do it. So if they want the item enough, that's, it's your rules. Don't be like bullied or tempted, bullied's the wrong word, influenced into accepting PayPal, because a lot of the scammers are using PayPal. So stick to it. We've had no issues with it whatsoever. So if it was something that we explored professionally, like it was going to become a big part of our business, then we would look into that in a bit more detail. But absolutely, if you're fulfilling yourself, if you're doing all of these type of things, I think this is something that's going to be quite big for the future. So you heard it here first, for sure. So have a look into that. Right, just check see if there's any other comments. Oh, Peter says, what type of items? Oh, I've already answered that one. Donna says, I'm getting in a lot of toy brands using OAD. I sell what I can't on the marketplace and spot. Good sales this time of year. Absolutely. So with all of the issues that people have with selling toys, with the I can't remember. Declaration of conformity. I couldn't remember what it was called. could remember some of these toys that you can pick up, especially RA, you literally can pick them up half price. So if there's something that's selling for 20 quid, you pick it up for 10 quid and you sell it for 15 quid. Well, that's £5 margin. You would saw off your left arm to get those sort of margins on Amazon. And it's all compounding at the end of the day. Like Donna says, if there's a time to try it, it's this time of year, because for so many various different reasons that I'm not going to cover again, but buying psychology, everything like that, panic buying, people perceiving that they're getting a bargain because you're selling it at this time of the year, and prices inflating throughout the rest of the year. Once we get past this weekend, definitely something worth considering as well. Yeah, if you've got one of those card readers, I'm not sure who said that, Donna, check out Donna. She's pretty advanced in this area. But yeah, absolutely, you can get the little tap cards as well. Didn't even think of that. So thanks for suggesting that. And again, that's something that people, because if you're accepting cash, it's like, it's hassle to go to a cash machine now, isn't it? I don't like using cash machines from a security point of view. So if someone can just come up, tap and pay by card. We've had people come up and say, look, I don't feel comfortable bank transferring, but can I literally do it at the door? Yeah, no issues with that whatsoever. So yeah, if you've got a little card reader, that's pretty cool, actually. I didn't think of that for sure. Jed says, yeah, which one do you use, Donna? I think I'm pretty sure like Starlin have one. But again, I was going to say PayPal, but we don't want to use, but that's one circumstance you don't want to use PayPal, as far as I'm concerned. Donna might say something different, but I wouldn't accept PayPal under these circumstances, because you're not protected. There we go. Sum up. It's really easy. Well done. Yeah, card reader sum up. That's such a great tip. Didn't even think of that. Thanks for letting us know, Donna. Brenda said, can you put a link to your eBay shop in items listed on Facebook Marketplace? And how do you get around the brand name flags when trying to list? I don't put the brand name in, because yes, I agree. I put some Barbie stuff up. I put some personal stuff that I was selling, like designer stuff, that I put that up as well. And yeah, Facebook wouldn't let me do it. So I don't put the brand tags in. I just put it in the title, put it in the description, and it seems to get the same level of traffic. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to claim I'm some sort of expert on this, because I'm not, and it's only something we've been doing for a short period of time. But yeah, not had any problem selling the stuff for sure. So, but yeah, I agree. If you put the brand in, it gets flagged up from like a potential counterfeit point of view. So don't put it in. That's the way I saw it. Don't use it on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, Donna said I was scammed once using PayPal, so don't use it on Facebook Marketplace. Absolutely. Yeah, it's such a great idea. Lee says, my wife just got some up reader for her piercing business. Looks good. My business bank have offered me a square reader. Tempted now. LOL. Yeah, a great tip. Such a great golden nugget. Really appreciate that, Donna. Yeah, definitely something I didn't think of. So that's it, really. There's my kind of this week Black Friday tips, how we can best maximize profit during this period of time. And, it's an exciting week, guys. This is the week that we build up to for, 11 and a half months of the year, 10 and a half months of the year. So my biggest tip is to make sure that you do enjoy it as much as possible. Don't give yourself carpal tunnel like I have by, refreshing your app too many times. But, make sure you use this period of time to kind of reap the rewards of all your hard work over the years. Take advantage of it as much as possible. And, let us know in the Facebook group as well. Share your wins with us. Post it in the group. We are in screenshot season, so it's good to really see people's wins, this time of the year. Like I said, there's nothing I love to see more than, people's success. So put it in the Facebook group. Let us know your wins this week and this weekend. Let us know how you're getting on and give us the opportunity to congratulate you as well. Because, you know, we're all in this together. There's a lot of people who don't understand probably what we do, especially in our personal lives. Maybe friends think we're all nuts. You know, they don't really understand what we do. So, you know, those wins this weekend, please share this with us, share them with us and give us the opportunity. It's so, so important to feel, you know, valued. And it's so really important to know that you're doing a good job. So post in the group as much as possible this weekend so we all have the opportunity to say well done to each other for sure. So yeah, those are my tips for this weekend. And yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think there's going to be some records broken this weekend for sure. But yeah, it is just one weekend of the year as well. So there is so much more after next week as well. We are just heading into that period of time that we all love. So it's all good from here on out for sure. Donna said, love the lunchtime live. Thanks, Natalie. Well, I shall definitely feed it back to Matt Webley because I know he was curious to, like I said, this wasn't a test. It genuinely wasn't. But we had talked about it. And I said, look, in a couple of weeks, I think I'm going to have to do a lunchtime one because I just couldn't make it work at any other time. I didn't want to let you guys down, obviously. So it was good to see. And everyone was so involved this afternoon as well, which is really great to see. Now, going to be returning back to normal next week, but I am sure you will forgive me because I have got an awesome guest that is going to be joining me next week to talk about his Amazon journey. He has appeared on here before, but it was with Matt. So I'm just going to be, you know, being selfish and getting him back on from my point of view because there's so much that I want to ask him. So next week I'm going to be joined by Thomas Parkinson. So you guys all know who he is. So he's someone very influential in the Amazon space, does a lot for Amazon community. So he's going to be joining me next week, 7 o'clock on Tuesday. So back to our regular time slot. And I'm sure if you've got any questions, you can ask them. I'll put up a thread during the week. So any questions that you specifically may want to ask Thomas about his Amazon business, doing hugely well with arbitrage in the US at the moment, you know, so lots of potential discussion points from that point of view. But I want to ask him lots about his digital nomading and, you know, his plans for the future and everything like that as well. So it'll be great for Thomas to come and join us next week. Hopefully I've got my dates right. But back to the normal slot of 7 o'clock on Tuesday before. Loved lunch with Nat. Thank you and get well soon, Luke Dugan. Absolutely. Enjoyed it. Child 3. Yeah, it's good. Simon says, please do it again. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to have to feed it back to Matt for sure because, yeah, you guys do seem to enjoy it. It's good to mix things up. It's good to do something a little bit different. But you know what, guys? I just wish you the best of luck. Best wishes for the rest of the week. Enjoy it. Maximize it as much as possible. Get that profit in. Squeeze every last drop of it as you can. I'll see you all next week. As ever, keep all the questions flowing into the group. You can definitely tell there's a bit more buzz around this time of year, especially as those sales have started to peak. But have a great week. I wish everyone a massively profitable Black Friday weekend, and I shall see you all next week. Take care.